Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's knowledge session. As we have been exploring about women's health at 40 plus. So, in our last knowledge session, we did understand how human health is in alignment with a tree, or when we have that understanding how human women are compared to trees well-being, right? So we understood how important is the power in our roots to live a better quality life, right? So to live healthy and happy after 40 also, we need these important practices in our life, and how sleep is important, all of that. So today we are going to focus on understanding the importance of trunk. Yes or no? So tree has a root, and it also needs good quality trunk to live a better life. So now in the trunk, what are the important aspects? So trunk of the tree actually gives us the inner strength, right? So of course roots give us the core strength. However, inner strength comes from the trunk of the tree, right? So now the trunk represents your physical and emotional resilience, right? So what does trunk represent? It shows you how physically you have taken care of your own self, and how much mental resilience I have. So what is physical resilience? We know, how much of body weight we can carry, and how we can have a agility in a physical body without pain, and how much of uh, you know stamina we have to sustain through the day without aches and pains, right? So that is all about physical well-being. But when it comes to mental resilience, how we bounce back from low points of our life, right? So life is never a stable and continuous pain free, or a conflict free, or a no failure kind of a life, right? So life keeps wavering depending on the situation, circumstances, and my mental space, my beliefs, my experiences with life, my exposure to life itself, right? So when mental resilience comes, like when there is a conflict within me, or there's a difficult event or a situation in me in my life, then how I recover from it and then come back to my normalcy of life, right? So that is mental resilience. So if I have a good mental resilience, then nothing can upset my life. Yes or no? Otherwise, what happens? Every small change brings a stress or anxiety in me. Yes or no? So now what happens? How flexible I am in my mental space. So that is what we call it as psychological growth, right? So when I'm not just physically growing as a person, because with age we all grow physically, right? But then mental or psychological growth needs a conscious work. Otherwise, we are very rigid. Oh, from childhood, I am doing this only, and I'm going to continue doing that only. However, that may not help me lead a better quality life, because with age, with situations, with too many things changing around faster than my psychological growth, brings in a lot of conflict in my life, right? Because I am not adapting. So, in the previous generation, there was more of a physical adaptation that was needed, right? No, you need to be physically strong, because you're fighting with the physical animals. When we were hunters and gatherers, we needed physical strength, because that is how we survive. However, now we are no longer living in that threatful situation. There's no more physical strength that is needed. I wouldn't say we don't need a physical strength. We just need not prioritize that only, because what happens is the mental challenges are so high because we are constantly stuffed with so much information and we need to process it. And then, there's a lot of conflict in our relationships. It's become complex, around, and things have been growing faster than I can adapt. Yes or no? So the speed of growth through the all the ups and downs of life is higher than the speed that I'm able to adapt. So that is where this mental resilience plays a huge role in our life. So that is part of the trunk of a tree. Are we all in the same page so far? Yeah, good. So both are important. So how do we build this trunk strength? That is our inner strength. So strength training, because after 40, really what happens is that, not just after 40, I wouldn't say that's a timeline, but then once uh, we complete our 30s itself, what really happens is the gradual process of muscle loss begins. So there's a saying that what we don't use, we lose. Okay, that is applicable for our muscles also and tissues. So what am I not using after 30? Because my mobility comes down, my physical activity comes down, because till we are childbearing and lifting or taking care of a children, what really happens is there's quite a lot of activity. But as we age further and the children physically grow, then there's a mental battle that happens rather than just physical, right? So when they're young, it is a lot of physical involvement, but as they grow older, it is a lot of mental difference of opinion, their freedom of choice, and us imposing parenting. So all of this comes in. So in that dynamic shift in our life, what happens is we start reducing our physical movement. Yes or no? So because we also end up having aches and pains because of the emotional baggage. Yeah. So then what happens? We start losing the muscle mass in the body. So that is why strengthening. So what does strength training means? You keep repeating the same exercise. You can use your own body weight or you can use external weight if your body is flexible enough. So first priorities have to maintain the flexibility of the body. Strength training is not just about lifting weight. It is about, otherwise what happens if I'm not keeping my body flexible enough, I end up damaging it. Yes or no? So that's when I end up having frequent, have you seen people who frequently injure themselves because they push themselves too hard? Yes or no? So what is important is first attain the flexibility, then you add weight. So when you are achieving the flexibility, what really happens is that you only use your body weight to do that. So that can be done through yoga or any form of exercises that you're comfortable with, right? It can be swimming, cycling, or what else we can do, walking. All of that helps us to stay active, right? But if we want to retain the muscle mass, then strength training becomes more and more important as we are getting older, because we are fighting against the human physiology, right? Because after 40, what happens? I am losing because of the hormonal withdrawal also, because our hormone peak is gone up at 20s and then started declining. Yes or no? So we are not chemically supported anymore until unless we consciously make an effort to maintain it. Okay. I also agree with the saying that age is just a number. However, what physiologically has to happen keeps happening until unless I'm consciously working to maintain it. Right? So when we maintain it, We can say age is just a number. If we are not maintaining, age is not a just number. It is going to impact you. Okay, so both are true. So it depends on what I am trying to do. How am I maintaining it? Yes or no? Are we all on the same page so far? So strength training doesn't mean just lifting too many kgs. No, it is protecting your body and maintaining the muscle mass. Then over a period of strength training, you will be gaining a better strength. Okay, so if you are an active person and you have a flexible body, then you can just start adding weights. If not, then start working on relaxing it and then achieve the flexibility. Then you do the strength training. Good with everybody. So these give us the strength. So walking is a wonderful activity, simple activity we can do through the day. So why walking is the most important thing for me or for every one of us is because see, we cannot do strength training through the day. Yes or no? So we can only do any form of exercise. You practice yoga, you practice swimming, you practice gymming, doesn't matter. Whatever we do, we can only do it for limited period of time. Yes or no? So here what happens? Until unless you are a professional, you know, athlete or someone where you will be able to train for at least 2 to 3 hours or 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. Still there is a limitation. But for people like us who have our different profession but want to take care of our health, I would say walking is the best option. Okay, that doesn't replace the strength training. Please be mindful of that. I'm not saying you just keep walking and then stay healthy after 40. No, that doesn't work because my body needs a different at 40, right? So I don't want to deplete my muscle mass. So what you do the strength training. But walking actually helps us maintain a great physical and mental balance in our body through the day, right? So our each body muscle or each tissue, each cell in our body needs blood supply, right? Just because I have gymmed or done strength training in the morning, I sit through the day, what really happens? I will end up having cramps, aches and pains because there is no proper blood circulation happening. The longer I sit in one place, the more thoughts and feelings come, right? So moving your body, that we can do through the day. So that is why there are two different things to maintain our trunks strength, right? So that gives us a inner strength, right? So then there's a proper blood supply to our body parts. The cleansing happens naturally. Yes or no? So then your body keeps cleansing and you will be free from aches and pains because you keep moving your body. Are we all on the same page so far? Yeah? Good. Mobility. Yes. So, why movement has been brought in so much for our inner strength is because that is what we are built to. Our human body is built to move, it is not built to sit at one place. See, we are hunters and gatherers. I'm going back again and again there because our body is not matching the speed of the growth that is happening in a society at this point of time, right? So, what happens? Mobility is. So walking is where you can say, okay, you can add the intensity to the walking or you can just do it at your own pace. Mobility is keep moving your body. Okay, the greatest disaster, the most disastrous invention that has happened for a mankind is the chair. Okay, because every 30 minutes I sit in a chair, I will lose 10 minutes of my life. Okay, so this is the comparison. So there's also a saying that if you're someone who is sitting longer in the chair is equal to you smoking a cigarette, because cigarette also loses cuts down on our lifespan. It's the same way we are also creating toxicity for our own self by constantly sitting. So that is why mobility, what you do indoor, right? Keep moving, just go fill your water bottle, and uh, walk around just to pick up a file, or just to do small chores around. Doesn't matter whether you're at home or you're in an office setup. Keep moving your body. So that means you keep you know getting up from the chair. Okay, so try sitting on the floor if it is convenient for you or comfortable for you, or you are flexible enough yet to sit after 40 also, right? Because many people lose that power to sit on the floor and get up from the floor at 40. So, what I would say, keep your body agile by creating mobility in your space. So, you have to build an environment in such a sense that you keep getting up for things, which also helps you maintain your physical and mental resilience. So, what happens is, we make everything so easily accessible, we don't move from our chair. Okay, however, what works beautifully is to bring in that mobility, right? So you go fill the water bottle, keep your book at least a couple of steps away from your table so that you get up for that. Okay, so or if you have to say hi to your friend, don't text in the same block, or you're sitting in the office setup where there's a person two row away from you, you want to, because we all have that gadget options, right? We just pick up a phone and call, or we just text. Rather than you can just go walk around and then say hi. So mobility needs to be built into our system, into our daily life. Otherwise what happens, we tend to create toxicity because we sit longer in the chair. Are we all in the same page? So that's how mobility is very, very crucial and important for us. Core strength. Yes. So what is core strength? So here what happens, these core strength is the box of muscles that are there in the mid portion of our body, right? So these six, what we say, six pack, or four packs, whatever you hear, people building it. So those, and also it includes the oblique muscles and pelvic floor, all of that. So basically the box of muscle in the front and back of our body is called core muscles. Why they are important? Because they are the core, strength for our body. How we move, how we posture, how we walk, right? How strong we can how straight we can stand, how strong our gait is going to be, how flexible is my body. So this protects me from falling as I grow older if I don't have enough core strength. Because see, we end up having big bellies. Yes or no? As we grow older. So then we start losing the strength from all of this. And also we develop pelvic tightness because of the long sitting, or long standing. It's not just sitting, even standing is harmful for our body. So what we need to do is we have to do a combination of sitting and standing so that our strength remains. Okay, so here what happens, we need to consciously build our core strength to stay stronger and maintain our gait and posture. I think one of the most common reasons that I've come across with the clients is that the gait, the posture that we sit, actually is damaging our core strength. Yes. So when I'm saying this, we're all actually consciously correcting our posture. So that becomes so unconscious for all of us that we sit in a wrong position and have inclination in our angle, which adds load to our body weight, right? So every time our posture is wrong, the head weight adds more load on the back. So that's why people end up having a lot of backaches as they grow older. And we also have these cesarean surgeries, which actually, when we do c-section, it also cuts through your muscle. Of course, older style of c-sections were vertically done. Now they have made understood that that's weakening your core strength, and then they shifted to the horizontal cuttings for the muscle growth. So, however, that shouldn't be the reason for not strengthening you. So, I always come across this, women say that, no, I have a C section, so I don't have, that's why my belly became big. Or that's no, they did an anesthesia, so that's why my back hurts. I mean, these are the stories that I've come across with my clients more often. Okay, so I'll tell you, there's nothing like that. I have seen women who have built six packs after a C-section. Okay, so your back hurts because probably your calcium deficiency is high, or your agility or mobility is not there, and the posture that you are maintaining is poor, and also you haven't trained your muscle to strengthen. It kept losing its muscle mass over the period of time. So it didn't happen overnight, but we are not conscious because our narrative is still stayed stuck at, I went through a C-section. So people overstay in that comfort zone of no movement, don't lift weight, and all of that. So there's a limitation on the timeline depending on the experience that you went through after surgery, if you had one. So that is where you need to be mindful of picking back your routine exercises once you deliver also. So I'm not saying start immediately. No, that's what I am trying to say. There's a timeline, maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks timeline. But in that timeline, also mobility is important, because when you move well, your body heals well. Why it heals well? Because there's a good blood circulation. The circulation is very, very crucial for all forms of recovery, right? Doesn't matter whether it's post delivery or pre delivery. So move your body. Don't say, now I'm becoming a mother, so I'm going to take rest. No, that is not helping you. It's not helping your baby. Good with everybody? So now, even though we are not talking about pregnancy and that stage of life, however, it is very important to do those when I'm young so that I stay healthy after 40. Good with everybody? So that is where core strength is very, very important, right? Because it protects me from falling, it protects me maintain my gait. Otherwise, you see, people just start bending forward as they grow older. Why? Because of the lack of strength. And also, it's a habit that I've picked up from young. So I have a toe walking, and and that's when I end up having knee pain, and I also end up having back pain during that point of time. And gradually, I will start developing shoulder pain, neck pain. All of that is happening because of my poor core strength. Why poor core strength? Because every step that I'm walking can be an exercise for me if I maintain a right posture and the gait and right appropriate walking style, right? So that cannot be replaced with 1 hour of exercise or couple of postures. So that's where you can make your core strength stronger when you just follow the basic that we all need to practice regularly. Are we all on the same page so far? Yes. Thank you so much. So now emotional regulation. I would say it's you know too big of a topic to discuss in in couple of minutes. However, what we need what we are never spoken about uh, when we were growing up is emotional regulation or mental well-being. Because why? Because as a human, we are all still evolving in that space. We didn't know emotion existed. We only thought I can control my emotions. That's the only way we all learn to regulate our emotion. And our bodies pay a huge price for suppressing all those emotions that we are experiencing in life, right? All our chronic health diseases, most of them come from the emotional suppression over the years. It's not that, okay, I've just suppressed it for few days. No, it's many decades, I would say. I've come across clients who have been suppressing their emotions and having lots of skin issues, migraine headaches, and then knee pain, back pain, you name it, right? So all these issues come because of the emotional suppress. So we all need to learn or pick up a skill to healthily process my emotions. See, emotions are not good or bad, okay? So how I express them makes it unhealthy or healthy, right? So getting angry is not a bad thing. However, what I choose to express my anger, right? I can scream at people, I can throw things, yeah, I can blame someone, I can abuse someone physically, emotionally, also, right? So, why anger is bad? Not the anger itself, the way I am expressing it, the way I am processing it is bad. So what you need to do is change that habit into process healthy. I'm angry, I will step out of the house, or I will go into an open space, I'll go for a run, I will drink water, I will wash my face, I will journal on that, or I will find someone, or find a safe space to vent it out. So these are all the healthy practices we need to inculcate, because we don't see modeling happening. We feel that, my mom did it, my dad did it, so I'm also doing it, right? Because we pick up very young before we even realize whether it is healthy or unhealthy. So now what is important is unlearn that. We have to relearn a different practice. So that's where emotional regulation plays a huge role. So emotions, see, what we do is emotions are very, very bad. So I am not going to be an emotional person. And people who cry, it's a healthy way of expressing your emotion, I would say. However, there's a place and a time to do it or as well, right? So now we label them as sensitive people. That's not helping people. That's not helping. So, emotional regulation needs to be a learned skill, and everybody can learn it. We have only been modeled suppressing, and we haven't understood the ABCD of emotions. So, that's why we all struggle to cope with it, right? So, when we are trained to manage our emotions, it's very important, because lot of dynamic shift happens at 40. Many a times women are going through menopause or perimenopause, or you are having a painful irregular periods because it's not consistent. Then you have teenage kids to manage, and you also have a if your partner is growing older or health issues, then you will have to take care of your own health issues, then you have to support them and take care of a teenager kids. All of that takes a toll on your emotion and mental health. And if we are not taking care of our physical well-being, even that adds up to the pile of responsibility. And you are also constantly worrying about what happens if my if menopause hits, because I'll be withdrawn from this estrogen progesterone support, which actually helps me staying healthy, right? So the all of that mental shift, right? You're battling your own health, and you have too much more in the plate, and you are working, then your job responsibilities are there, and then you will have aging parents, aging in-laws. So all of that adds up. So you're sandwiched between two generation here. So that is where your mental resilience becomes more important, right? So that is where you have to focus on your own well-being so that you can support and balance both the generation. Good with everybody? So that is where emotional resilience is very, very important. Good, positive mindset. So, why I did add this positive mindset is because many people whom I meet, they say, I am 40 now, my kids are grown up, so now my life ends here. So, people want to stop living because they feel, I've got my kids married, now they will live on their own. I have nothing else to do. So, that is why what happens is having the positive mindset and to look forward to better quality life for your own self is very, very important. I have also come across clients who start living life at 40 because that is when we all realize that what do you say, and like we keep chasing at least till 30 plus, that everybody is my source of happiness. But by the time you reach 40, reality hits you harder because whomever you chase as the source of happiness is no longer around you to align with your thought process. So then what happens, you start like, oh, I mean, I did all of this for nothing. That's a feeling that naturally comes to women at that point of time. So that's when you start focusing on your own well-being. Okay, that is the time to stay focused on your own well-being, your own thought process, how you perceive life, right? Otherwise it's easy to slide down into the trail of I am not good enough, or there's nothing else to look forward to in life, right? Because this is most commonly the stage where you will feel emptiness syndrome. That is, your kids have grown and then left you behind, and then you're all at your own self, and then you haven't invested in your own self. You're lost also, that what am I going to do with my life, how am I going to move ahead. So all of that turmoil happens in everybody's life, depending on how much time you have invested, how thoughtful you are about planning for your future, and how well you took care of your daily routine by taking care of your mental health, physical health when you are young, right? So all of that uh, adds up to what quality of life I'm living now, right? So that is when positive mindset really gives us the freedom to think differently. Otherwise we become part of the rut. Okay, so otherwise you can become more financially independent. You can, if you are someone who uh, took a break from your work because of parenting needs or family needs or personal health issues, it's time to pick up new skills, build new career. It's all possible now with the current opportunities available, and the internet being accessible. We are globally connected, so you can look out for lot more options and build new skill so that you stay positive. Yes or no? So now, see, I think when we are young or when we are parenting, we always complain that I don't have enough time to for my own self. But when we are given enough time, also we are complaining that nobody is there around me. So now this is a conflict that we all have. So what we need to be mindful of is, when I'm given time, what am I investing on? Where am I investing on? How it is going to enhance my quality of life, whether physical well-being, mental well-being. It all needs a lot of time. So I would say that it's an ideal time to know yourself better, because you're going to have a lot more time left to live life independently. And this is the best time to invest, right? Reinvest time, I would say. Reinvest your time on understanding your own self, because till this time you have become someone whom you don't know yourself, or you have lost yourself in the process of different dynamics or stages of life to become someone else. right? To fit into the needs of other people, fit into the need of your children, fit into the need of family, or fit into the need of your job or financial requirement, what not. So we keep changing our own self, right? But sometimes, you know, after a period of time, you start realizing this is not what I was, or this is not who I am, right? So I think that it's harder at 40 when you are given more time to think about your own self and know your own self. So that is the time you start working on your own self growth, start understanding your own self, being more compassionate to your own self, because you are blessed with loads of time, I'm assuming. Otherwise also, it's time to make sure that you make time for your own growth. Otherwise you will be, you know, left behind, because everybody else is giving time for themselves and then taking care of their physical and mental well-being and learning new skills. But I am not doing that, means I am losing my own quality of life. So that is where mental resilience also becomes very crucial. When I'm learning new things, when I'm open to new challenges, when I'm willing to experience different life, then I'm more mentally resilient, because I have something else to look forward to. Otherwise, I keep looking back and worrying. Okay, so and there'll be a lot of regrets. Oh, best time to take care of myself was 20, but now I'm 40. So what do I do? Right? So we'll keep complaining about what all we didn't do at 20. However, change happens today. You create a better future depending on what I am doing today. Yes, I haven't realized it at the best time, at least this time for me. So, what am I doing with that? I think that kind of a questioning becomes important to stay positive and to look forward at a better quality life. Hope we're all on the same page. I think we'll take a pause at trunk today, right? So now we have understood root and also we have understood trunk. We will take it forward in the next session. Thank you so much.